Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the movie Prey that I watched on Disney Plus somehow without having Hulu. Go figure on that one. I was just like, okay, let's see if this is on here. Tell you unlock or whatnot. All this streaming shit has gotten completely and utterly fucking insane. But I was able to watch this and I overall thought it was alright. I enjoyed it when we got more into the Predator action in the kind of back half of the movie, but it took a little bit to get there, and out of them, I would rank like Predators slash Predator 2. Sometimes it deals with what's kind of going on in the day. And then Prey would be like that solid fourth one wherever I could find a duking out of what goes on. I think I would put Predators above Predator 2. Uh, just because it does the Predator stuff a little bit better in my opinion. Predator 1 is good because of its balance of like action movie shit in the beginning and then the complete subversion of it when you get a monster hunting the action movie dudes. Here we get more times trying to spend and showcase predator prey kind of hunting shit going on, mainly in regards to the heroine we are following, Naru. She of course wants to become a great hunter like her brother, but she's being trained as a healer and stuff. That does actually help her out. She thinks she sees a Thunderbird sign and it's a predator ship, and we just kind of get some stuff of understanding a little bit of what's kind of going on. We see them dealing with like a cougar kind of situation, which got kind of nutty because this one dude was just saying "fuck you, Naru," and then he gets fucking tanked by the fucking cougar lion thing, and then she gets kind of knocked off of a branch while still kind of injuring it. Her brother Tabe gets the credit for the kill because he finishes it off, but he does recognize later on, yeah, you weakened the shit out of it, your plan worked. Interesting brother-sister dynamic here. The healer kind of stuff actually works out for her because we get some injured people that needs this kind of like orange flower thing that pretty much makes them kind of shiver and takes down their body temperature kind of. That helps out later on when she's dealing with the predator kind of scenario. And the thing is, we see it kind of stalking. The weirdest kind of bit is when we want cannon fodder, just people that need to die kind of stuff. We get some of that happening with Naru's Comanche hunting party, but then we just get like these French trader assholes that have like killed all this buffalo and just like auto spawn out of nowhere because we need cannon fodder to showcase how fucking badass this predator is. With certain kind of bits of his tech. Now, as an action movie and kind of like horror-esque kind of thing, building up your character, sure, you need to do that. There needs to just be kind of like a better way to do it. I understand you show off Predator's awesome kind of tech and shit, especially back here in like the 1719s in the Great Plains kind of region. Let's see. Yeah, we already do that. We also bring up this whole kind of bear thing. That was even more effective because this bear's coming to eat Naru's ass. And also her dog. Her dog's fucking awesome. I'm glad it lived throughout the film. But it's like coming at her. The predator fucking fights it and fucking kills it with like one fucking punch at the end. And it's like, oh shit. Like, I didn't need a lot to like build up this motherfucker. And it's just like, okay, because I understand seeing the French in the area works within that kind of whole realm, but I also saw that there's like parts that like Naru's people shouldn't have been in that region. They're usually more into the south, so it's like, yeah, okay. But we just pretty much see a bunch of French assholes, and we do get some kind of callbacks to normal kind of Predator stuff. The weirdest kind of one is the pistol that Danny Glover gets in Predator 2. Belongs to one of these people, but Naru's the one that has it, so either a predator's gotta like tank her ass out or she's gotta fucking give that pistol to someone else. Real funny thing is that the French traders are pretty much using Naru and Tabe as bait for the predator to go and hunt that thing, but of course they're like, yeah, we're not the ones that they would go for. They go for like an actual kind of challenge. And Tabe doing the whole if it bleeds we can kill it kind of thing. That one worked out pretty well. I'm like, okay, cool. It at least wasn't on the level of Welcome to Raccoon City, where you had to have a basic understanding of the Easter egg you're attempting to reference before then completely, not even subverting it, doing it completely and utterly wrong, and just being like, all right, this works. Oh, this is Jill's sandwich. No. God, no. It's a horrible fucking dad joke that one other character pretty much says to another character that got out of a life-threatening situation where they would have been a Jill sandwich smooshed. That doesn't happen here. This actually does have a reverence for the Predator franchise. So, yes, that shows through. Execution doesn't completely line up with me on that, but I don't think it's a horrible movie. I think that it, like, plods along in the beginning. The shots are beautiful, but I mean, it really doesn't give us much other than just showcasing Naru going around, doing certain kind of skills to, of course, reference them and use them later on, which works. There could have been a little bit kind of better urgency on kind of moving it forward. The fuck is that? No. Yeah. We do get the Predator using shields and different kind of weird-ass shit as well. Naru pretty much gets the pistol by treating this dude's leg and everything because he lost one of them, utilizing, of course, the flower again. Raphael tries to play dead, and that's, of course, when Naru realizes that she can use this stuff to reduce the heat. But, of course, it accidentally steps on Raphael, he screams and gets killed. We also see that Tabe is killed by it as well, before she pretty much leads it back to this place that was a kind of sunken, this kind of mud hole kind of thing. And she does a pretty kind of cool thing of pretty much knocking its helmet off, and then utilizing it, because the biggest kind of issue was that we see it trying to kind of shoot this thing at Tabe, and it's pretty much going where the mask is aiming instead of like hitting out of other, like actually hitting what he's trying to aim at. So that auto-targeting thing is a weakness. She utilizes that to pretty much headshot this motherfucker. And she, of course, utilizes the skills that she has with the tomahawk that she's been using to pretty much have a rope and pull back and everything on. And she then takes it and gets like worshipped by the tribe and everything for the kind of kill and all that. And we also see, evidently at the end for certain kind of things, that more ships come down and interact with the tribe because of the kind of paintings that we get for it. I was good with the action when it got into the actual Predator part, but it doesn't have the same kind of impact that the original kind of Predator had, and even to a certain extent, Predator 2 and Predators, where the Predator one is different in that it pretty much tries to go Iron Man at the end, which is fucking weird. At least in those, when you're doing like the beginning and kind of setting up the kind of like turns or whatnot that you've got, because you've got these weird people put down in this preserved one in the Predators, that one at least kind of like puts them on a different kind of thing. You're trying to figure out what's kind of going on. It's like, alright, let's see how these kind of characters interact before we get turned up for a little bit more. The first Predator, of course, bringing on the action movies and everything going on with that. This one, it felt more kind of like a slower kind of pace in the beginning before really getting into the action, showcasing what Naru can do skill-wise against the Predator. And maybe it would have been a little bit better if... Stop that, you son of a bitch. Because I know that's kind of what they were trying to do with the cougar lion kind of hunt, showcasing her hunting skills and everything like that, and what was kind of going on. I wish it had just been more focused on her. Like, she like just escaped out into the wilderness and did her own kind of thing, and either she succeeded or she failed, and that kind of like would go more onto her thing. Putting it more with the kind of group tribe dynamics kind of just elongated it in the kind of way that it really didn't need to. Sure, I would have rather had it where she had done this kind of hunting, succeeded or failed, and then kind of how the tribe reacts to that later on to kind of understand what the kind of group dynamic is. It just felt like it made it longer than it needed to be. And this isn't too long. It's not quite 2 hours. It's not 2 hours. It's 99 minutes. So it doesn't overstay its welcome. Would I recommend this as a Predator movie? Even though it's called Prey? Sure. Would I recommend it as, like, your first one to go into? Not really. I still recommend the first one because of what it does. It's a kind of unique one, and it's kind of hard to kind of replicate it, which is the kind of perennial problem of this franchise. Because after you watch it the first time, that same trick doesn't work again. So you have to figure out how to kind of balance it out and ratchet up the kind of tension that you get from what you've done with that kind of action movie role. And I just didn't really get it here. Now, if this was your first one, you might kind of get that kind of tension as it's going on. As I've gotten older and I'm kind of in that middle ground where I've seen a couple of things, but I haven't seen all kind of things, you see things that have been influenced and changed up and done in certain kind of ways. The kind of Seinfeld effect. Like, you go back and watch Seinfeld after you've seen stuff that has been inspired and influenced by Seinfeld. You're like, this isn't... that kind of thing's a little bit kind of different, where you're then seeing this kind of new... I'm going from the opposite angle, where I'm seeing these things, and I'm like, this is pretty much Seinfeld kind of stuff. What the kind of fuck? So I've kind of seen this stuff before, and that's why I'm more kind of like, what other kind of take do you have on this kind of thing? Acting-wise, I think everybody did a pretty good job. There was no any kind of standout moment where it's like, anybody was really sucking or anything, or had any really shitty kind of content or anything. Just mainly the biggest kind of hole is the pistol, where I'm like, okay, this either is gonna, like, I would have rather not needed that, because then this is like, okay, something bad is gonna happen to you or someone that you give this pistol to, because a Predator's got to give it to Danny Glover later on. So, okay. If it bleeds, we can kill it kind of line, that worked out well. I'm like, okay, you know how to at least work it on that one. Predator tech, I'm glad they were able to scale it pretty well. It's still different kind of Predator tech that we've seen, but still kind of fits within the kind of time realm that we've got. Sure, they'd be more advanced than the 1719 kind of time place that we're at, but how advanced compared to what we've seen in the 80s and so on and so forth, the 1980s, and going forward with that. So that's always a hard kind of thing to do, especially with prequels, to scale technology appropriately. I think that was handled pretty well enough here. CGI and different kind of things I think worked out pretty well effects-wise. Didn't really get too much of an uncanny valley with most kind of things. I mean, we got like an invisible predator fucking fighting a bear. It looked pretty good and decent enough. It wasn't like completely nutty and that like I'm watching Naru's actress watching pretty much like a fucking tennis ball on a stick or something like that. It's like, a bear's trying to eat my ass and something fucking killed it with a punch and is like fucking ripping it in front of me. What the fuck? But yeah, I would recommend it. I don't know how I was able to watch it, because I know we really don't have that much of a kind of bundle for the thing, so check with what you can. If you've got Hulu, you should be able to watch it. Listen, with everything kind of changing, I know it came out on Hulu first. It's just up to whatever corporations do anymore, so if you got that, cool. If you've got Disney Plus, check it out. I think they're doing certain kind of ones with certain kind of cross-pollination. I think the one that it's done in Comanche, is locked to Hulu. Just be careful and don't accidentally try to unlock something that you don't want to unlock. Research it as much as possible with whatever tier plan. I fucking hate that I have to go with that kind of route, but they are as opaque as fucking mud at this point of trying to figure out what the fuck you can get and what the fuck you can't. And by the time I say something or upload this thing, it could have completely changed, so you never know. I did like the characters and the world building and the action. They pretty much took most of the kind of stuff for it. It just felt a little plottish in the beginning, but when it really got into it, it was pretty decent, and I had an enjoyable time. So those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.